Ideal voltage sources and ideal current sources do not exist, but in the world of physics and engineering, close enough, good enough. What's really handy about these current and voltage sources is that you can interchange between them. Let me show you how to do this mathematically. Here we have a voltage source with a resistor in series, and we can convert it to an ideal current source by placing the resistor in parallel. Is that cheating? No. And I can show it to you why. Let's start talking it from the perspective of a load. In between these 2 points, let's put a resistor. Let's start where everything starts in electricity, Ohm's law. VT is equal to IT times RT. T standing for total, the total story. The total current in our system is equal to the total voltage supplied over the total resistance. But what's the total resistance? It's just the source resistance plus the load resistance in series, one after the other. If you remember your Kirchhoff's current laws, the current is the same at any given point in a closed circuit. The total current and the source current are the same, and it's equal to the voltage source divided by the sum of the resistors in our series. Remember this. What we're trying to say, is it true that IS is equal to VS over RS? Is Ohm's law true if we switch the circuit around? And lo and behold, it is. If we want to measure the current going through the load, we need to use the current divider. So we have current coming in here, choo-choo, and it splits into two paths. Because current is an inverse relationship with resistance, we put RS on top of the fraction. RS over the total sum of the resistors, RS plus RL. Multiply by the total current in our system, IS, or sub in immediately VS over RS. Because that's our claim. Would you look at that? These two RS's cancel, we clean up the equation, and we get exactly the same expression. The current going through the load is the total voltage source over the sum of the total resistors. These guys are telling the same story as these guys. The handy trick of this is that you can convert between Thevenin and Norton's theorem. So if you're studying for the exam and your brain is breaking, you can't solve for Norton's theorem. If you study Thevenin's theorem very, very thoroughly, and just remember this guy, you can do this last step in the end to solve your circuit. Because all it comes down to, as always, is Ohm's law. Everything is Ohm's law.